Here. Today we're going to be doing the Unit 1 Quiz 2 review. So hopefully you've already tried it yourself first and now you're using this to review for the quiz. So we want to find the distance between B and C. So B is located at the point -3, -3. C is located at the point 3, -6. Remember that points go how many you go over and then how many you go down. So I'm going to label this one x1, this one y1, and then x2, and then y2. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to calculate out the distance between 2 points. So I'm going to do x2 minus x1. Remember that when you subtract a negative, it's going to become plus a positive. And then y2 minus y1. So then 3 plus 3 is going to give you 6, and -6 minus 3 is going to give you -9. Or -3, I'm sorry, this is a positive. That becomes a positive. Good gracious, welcome to my struggle. Okay, when you subtract a -3, it becomes plus a positive. So 6 squared is 36, and then 3 squared is 9, and when you add the two together, you end up getting the square root of 45. Now on these, I am A-okay with you writing the decimal. Remember, if you're using one of those crappy calculators, that you actually have to divide that out. Okay, so then you get 6.71. Now let's take a look at finding the midpoint. So here again, the point is -3, 3, here 3, -6. So to get the midpoint, what I'm going to do is add the two x coordinates and divide them by 2, add the two y coordinates and then divide them by 2. We want to add the tops first. So -3 plus 3 is 0. -6 plus a -3, that's going to get more negative and give me a -9. So 0 divided by 2 is 0, and -9 divided by 2 is going to give me a -4.5. So that's the midpoint between those 2 points is 0, -4.5. Now let's take a look at some of these distance problems. So we want to find the distance of GP. So G is located at -7 and P is located at 4. So I'm going to take the farthest left one, which is -7, and subtract the farthest right one, which is -4. So when you subtract two negatives, it's going to get more negative. So I end up getting -11. But I'm taking the absolute value of -11, so that's going to be the positive version, which is just 11. So the distance between those 2 points on a number line is simply 11. Now, to find the midpoint of GP, all you're going to do is add the 2 points together. So I take the -7 for G and the P for 4, and then I'm going to divide them by 2. Again, I want to add the tops first. -7 plus 4 is -3, and then we're going to divide by 2, and then when I do that, I get a -1.5. So the midpoint between those 2 points is -1.5 for number 4. Okay, now let's take a look at some of this angle stuff. So the first thing I want to point out to you is talking about the directions. Notice that it says that angle A or AC bisects BAD. So what that tells you is that this angle BAC is going to be equal distant or equal degree measure to CAD. So then when you take a look at number 5, it says that the measure of angle 1 is 5x plus 2, which I'm going to write in. And then the measure of the second angle is 7x minus 18. Now since AC bisects it, those two are going to be equal to each other. So 5x plus 2 is equal to 7x minus 18. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just get myself some space down here, and I'm going to solve that equation. So what I like to do is I like to take the smaller amount of x's and bring it over to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5x from both sides. Since this is positive, I need to subtract 5x to get it over to the other side. 7x minus 5x is going to give me 2x, and then I have minus 18. So now I'm going to add 18 to both sides, and I get 2 plus 18, which is 20, is equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2, and I get that x is equal to 10. So that's my answer for number 5, is that x is equal to 10. Now it asked me to find the measure of angle 2. Well, it gave me that the measure of angle 2 is 7x minus 18. So what I'm going to do is plug in 10. So I take out the x completely and I put 10 in instead. So I have 7 times 10 minus 18. So really that's just 70 minus 18, which is going to give me 62. Since we're talking about a degree measure, I'm going to label it degrees. Now let's take a look at number 7. We want to classify angle 2 as acute, right, or obtuse. Now remember that acute angles are less than 90 degrees, right angles are exactly 90 degrees, and obtuse angles are greater than 90 degrees. So to me this looks a lot less than 90 degrees. So this is an acute angle. It's acute angle, acute. Next, it asks us to find the vertex of angle 3. So the first thing we want to do is find angle 3, which is right here. The vertex is kind of the corner of the angle. So the vertex of that angle is at point A. The next thing it wants us to do is to identify the two sides of the angle. Now each side of the angle is going to be a ray. So I have a ray extending this way. So that ray has 2 points on it, A and D. And I identify it as a ray by putting the little arrow over it. The next one goes out this way and it has the points A and E. And so I'm going to go ahead and make that ray. So this kind of concludes your quiz review. If you have any questions, please come talk to me so that I can help you guys before you take your quiz. But if you understand it, you're ready for the quiz. Thanks for listening.